Hey everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the guy behind the camera on this channel called Why Sit Home. And it's me who's been taking you to all sorts of places for the past 3 years now. Yeah, today the channel turns 3 years old. And back in February 2020, I would never have thought that I would, take you to so many places. To actually 10 countries now. Can you just imagine this? Yep, and in today's video I decided to finally say hi and kind of introduce myself. So once again, I'm Alex, a traveler, a cyclist, a crazy YouTuber with 7 channels, a musician, an English tutor, and a voiceover artist. Nice to meet you finally. Yeah, I do a lot of things, but this channel is sort of, let's say, my way to find harmony and peace. It's the best therapy ever, and I'm really happy that I have it. And hope you're happy to be here and to kind of walk with me to all these places. I really can't even imagine how many miles we've walked together. It must be hundreds of them. So, and today, on this very important day for me and for my channel, I decided to make this video where I would take 5 most memorable walks that I did on this channel and share them with you. And maybe even tell you more about them. Well, because there's all sorts of funny little things behind every walk, and I just wanted to tell you all these stories. These will be 5 walks, but it doesn't mean that I only have 5 favorite walks. It's not so. But as it's a tryout video, maybe you would like to see more. So just let me know, please. And it's nothing like top 5, best walks ever. It is just a list of random ones, and it doesn't mean that the first one is by any means better than the next one, no. So let's start off, and I'm gonna start with one of the first ones that I did for this channel. It was back in Thailand in 2022 when me and my girlfriend Vadia, we were in Phuket, which is a pretty cool island in Thailand. And it was the beginning of 2020 when the whole COVID thing was only starting in China. And it still, it still wasn't something big, and it was in the news, but no one really thought it would be something serious. So people just, kept living their lives, having fun, just partying and yeah, enjoying the time. And no one thought it would be such a nightmare. Yeah. Back then, when I only created this channel, it was called GoPro, which was a pretty weird name. And I can tell you why it was called so, because I had a GoPro, and the idea of the channel was to just shoot with my GoPro and nothing else. Because I had bought it a couple months before, and I really loved it, and I still have my GoPro 7 Black. I just enjoyed it so much. And yeah, that was the original idea of the channel, which I kind of still stick to. I was roaming with my GoPro. That's why it was called GoPro. Yeah. So we were there for 2 weeks, and it was a pretty much relaxing holiday, and this is what we wanted actually, because we really wanted to get out of this Russian winter, because that's where we're from. And yeah, I was so happy to be in such a hot place in the middle of the summer in January. I woke up like at 6 a.m. and I just went somewhere. And this is the idea I've been kind of following, not even on purpose. Whenever I'm in a new place, I really like getting up early and just, going along streets, exploring the place, and yeah, so I'm kind of crazy about that. Back to Thailand, and it was just yet another walk. I think it was the 5th one I did for the channel. And this one is called Wild Thailand, because I reached the furthest corner of this whole beach, and I entered some sort of jungle. And I had a vague idea about where I was on the map, but I just really didn't care. So I, headed into this forest, thick forest, and it was just unforgettable. And I really don't know what exactly, but I just love this walk. I love getting back to it in my thoughts, and maybe because before, all the walks I did in Thailand were sort of like beach walks, with pretty much the same scenery, but that time it was just different. And I was really in a jungle, and it was just amazing. And my GoPro was on my chest with this chesty mount. Back then I used it a lot. And I never held the camera, on a stick or something like I do now. And I just walked like that. And whenever there was some object, like I had to stop and sort of, press my chest against it, kind of closer, so, the camera could at least kind of catch what's there. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I don't know why I did that, but I loved it. I was only kind of beginning to do that, so yeah. I have a lot of questions to myself too. So I walked around, I explored the place, and then I reached some strange, like, bush or whatever that was. And I really wanted to know what's behind it. So in this video, you can clearly see how I kind of, get inside, sort of, ripping this, grass, whatever that was. And yeah, that was just insane. Because then I was told that there's like snakes and all sorts of spiders, which could bite me at least. But I didn't think of that at all. And then I actually reached some sort of private space, with cottages. And I didn't even realize it was private, actually. And I even saw some people in the windows looking at me, and probably they thought like, dude, what are you doing here? It's private territory. And I was just like walking and kind of enjoying the views. Yeah, I was that crazy. No idea about privacy. Yeah, now it's different completely. So yeah, that's the first walk which came to my mind, and I really love it, and I would like you to go see it. All the links will be either here, one of the top corners, or below the video. You won't miss them, don't worry. Actually, another one which I could add to this whole list, it happened I think a couple days after this one, and it's called the most extreme walk ever. And actually it is, I'm telling you. I decided to kind of go explore those rocks on the other side of the beach, and I walked on them, and then I reached some sort of place, and I was barefoot. I don't know what I was thinking, really. And when I reached it, I realized that it would be such a pain to walk back, so I decided to jump into the sea and kind of swim back to where I started. And that was just, oh my God, that was insane. Again, when I showed it to my friend, he said, do you know that there's like sea snakes in there? And I said, what? So yeah, again, pretty stupid of me to do that. But I did it, and it turned out to be a cool video. So again, I'm gonna add this link below the video so you can find it and check it out. It's pretty dangerous, but I also love it. All right, number 2 on the list is Ghost Town Gamsutl. Gamsutl. Yeah, I think in English it will be more appropriate to say Gamsutl. Yeah. So this is in Dagestan now, which is actually part of Russia, but it's so different that when you're there, you don't feel like you're in Russia at all. This is a Muslim state, and those people are really different, but very cool. And we met so many of them, and they were all nice, very hospitable, very polite, and yeah, we just loved them. So again, it was my girlfriend and me, and we were there for 5 days, I guess. But every day was filled with something, and I think it was day 3 when we went to this abandoned village on top of a mountain. And that sounded crazy, but it looked even crazier, I'm telling you. Like the whole way onto the top took us like an hour, I guess, but it should have taken us less because we hired a car. And you can see it in the video how, our group and I will all get into this van or whatever, and it breaks down 5 minutes later. Not because of the weight or something, but just because it was like from the 1960s, I guess. And we have to walk, which is insane, but well, I mean, we're already there, so why not? And I remember how our guide Sungur, he just walked up, because he grew up in there around that place, and it was so easy for him to just go up, up a mountain, while we couldn't do this. We had all sorts of, hiking boots, and we were sort of ready, but it was still so hard to ascend like that because it was super steep. And in 40 minutes we reached the place, and it was just so damn good. And it literally was an abandoned village with no people living there. It was no exaggeration. And yeah, that was actually October 2020. So the last settler of this place had died in 2015. And before that, he had gone crazy because he had been living there for a few years all alone. And that's just, yeah, that's crazy completely. And as the whole way up took us so long, like much longer than we had expected, we had to hurry up and kind of explore the place real quick. Back then I still used my GoPro 7, but I had found a way to record, better quality audio. And I had attached my sound recorder. I think I had a Tascam or something on top. I had this like really cool contraption which I made, and that was amazing. Pretty heavy and, you know, kind of shaky in a way, but well, that was the idea. And I remember taking a walk around this abandoned village, and it felt so weird. Like you could really see all those huts and houses where people had been living, and they were all empty. And at the end of this video, I reached the house of this guy, the last settler of this village. And in it, there were still like some things left. Like, I don't know, some plates, cups, even some blankets, I guess. I don't really remember, but the stuff was there. And that was really a ghost town. Yeah, pretty unforgettable stuff. The next one on our list, number 3, it's the one called Leaving the Maldives. I really love this video. I don't know why. Actually, the whole place, the Maldives, they are just beautiful. If you've been there, you know what I mean. But if you haven't, let me tell you, it was a tiny island in the Indian Ocean. 200 meters by 600 meters. Go convert it into yards or inches. I'm really bad at it. And this piece of land is just somewhere out there. And yeah, you're there for 2 weeks almost. And it's got everything. The internet, the food, drinks, whatever you want. But you're like really out of the whole civilization, and it just feels cool and weird at the same time. And logically, I think the most memorable thing about it is when we came there. But I don't know why, I love the video about leaving the place. We got up like real early. I think it was 4 a.m. or even 3 a.m. and the boat was expected to pick us up at 5 or something, but it was late. So we could have slept longer, yeah. And I really like to remember how we got in and we started off. And it was so wavy and we kept like hopping and jumping. The boat was super shaky. But I shot it all like in one take, I guess. And I love getting back to this video and rewatch this whole moment, how we reached this port where, you know, they had all sorts of boats, and then we take the bus and we go to the airport, which is like 2 minutes away from the seaport. And this is all on one tiny island, which is just insane. And that was still early morning, and I remember how I kind of stuck my camera out of the window and I was like filming all sorts of people, you know, walking by and doing their things, maybe going to work, and just living their life on that tiny little island. I just love it. So go watch it. Again, all the links will be there below the video. It's such an atmospheric video. I love it so much. And the Maldives, it's such a luxurious place. You just gotta go see it one day. Number 4 on this list is the one from Turkey. That was the beginning of 2022, like mid-January, and we were staying at this very nice place. It's like a bungalow hotel community. And it's sort of like a family business, and they have a few houses, but as it was off season, I think we were maybe the only residents there. And near this place, there was this famous location called Butterfly Valley. And I really wanted to go check it out because, first of all, it was part, and it is part of the Lycian Way, which is such a famous hiking trail. And I think it's 500 something kilometers long, which is insane. So I really wanted to go see it. And I remember how Vadia, my girlfriend, she was kind of tired and she stayed at home. And again, I took the camera and I went straight there, all alone, in a forest. Yeah, why not? And actually on the way there were a couple sort of dangerous, you know, turns there, and I could have fallen down and broken my neck, but I'm alive, yeah. And I think I walked for about 45 minutes, and then I reached it, and oh God, that was just breathtaking. I just couldn't believe my eyes how high I was above the ground. And all those houses and boats were just like super tiny, and I was like, what? Is that real? And I just couldn't get enough of this place. I stayed there for, I think, 3 hours or something. And I was stupid enough to not bring with me any food, any water, but I just even didn't need it. I was super happy to be there, and yeah, it was unforgettable. And as always, if it's such a picturesque place, I usually take my 360 camera with me too. And I make a separate 360 video in the same location, so go check it out too. It's just very atmospheric. And the last one on this list, which again doesn't mean that it's the worst or the best one, it's Walking in Herceg Novi, part number 5. I have no idea why this one exactly, but actually this is the place where I'm in right now, still. And I just really love it how it starts with the city center, how I'm like checking the church and the square, and then taking this road down somewhere. And I end up entering our apartment, which we were kind of staying in, and how I kind of take off my shoes and I enter this huge balcony which we had with the best view ever. It was super wide and we literally had almost 180 degrees of the sea view. And I just like it for some reason. I don't know, it's just so memorable for me. So yeah, that's it. 5 random walks which came to my mind, which were unforgettable in their own way each, and hope you liked it. Please let me know if you would like to see part 2, because I've got a few other stories to tell. And it was nice finally meeting you. I guess that's it. Happy birthday, channel. You guys, we've still got so many more places to go see, so feel free to join me and I'll see you down the road. Stay tuned and cheers.